So Boron is like a small town in the middle of nowhere, like literally the middle of the desert in Southern California. Town of 4,000 people. I lived with, it was me, my dad, my mom, my sister, and my brother. My dad worked at Kramer Junction. It was about 9 miles outside of Boron. It was a huge like solar plant, and he did that up until I was born, and then he went on disability and started collecting Social Security. Because it was a very small town, everyone kind of knew each other. Like we knew everything about each other, which was special too. And then, you know, going like to Domingo's or K&L, which was like the little like family diner type thing. We would always go to the church after school. If I wasn't going straight home, we would usually go to the church. My mom actually moved to Louisiana when I think I was 9 years old, and I didn't really talk to her like ever. I was just really mad and very unforgiving towards her. And so it was just me and my dad, and in the summer of 2009, it was July 29th, I stayed the night at my friend's house, and I came home the morning of, and I went to check my front door, and it was locked. My dad knew I was coming home that day, so I just thought, I don't know, I thought he was like, he just had forgot to unlock the door. And so I went around back, and I crawled through the doggy door to get in, and I, you know, said hi to all of my dogs, and I, you know, was confused because my dad hadn't like greeted me. I didn't see him, and then I looked over to my right, and I saw him laying on the bathroom floor, and I like kind of went into panic mode, and I saw like, you know, like a gash on his head, and I saw his like lip was kind of like busted open, like as if he fell. I called 911, and they told me to stay on the phone with them until they arrived. And I had only gone to see my dad in the hospital, I think twice, maybe 3 times. I think it was just too hard for me to see him. And when I would go, I don't know, I felt like I was too young. I don't want to blame, you know, my age, but I feel like I was too young to understand that like I can talk to him, I can like, you know, like touch him and like be there, you know, with him. When he was in the hospital, Charles and Kristen's family, we took a week and we went to Lake Shasta to go houseboating. It was a really good distraction from what was actually happening. I like felt very, you know, happy when I was there, and you know, I was able to like smile and like not really think about it. And then on our way home from Shasta, we were driving, and I received a call from my sister's husband saying that my dad had passed away. It was August 14th of 2009. And I just remember pulling over to the side of the road and getting out of the car and just walking. You know, I kind of just walked away from what was happening. I was, you know, heartbroken. I couldn't like imagine my dad not being there to see me graduate, to see me, to walk me down the aisle. And Kristen came and got me, and we walked back over to the car, and I just remember Charles, you know, hugging me and praying for me. And in that moment, I just kind of knew that that my dad was in a good place. in that I'd be okay. Just, feeling the love and that Kristen and Charles had for me was amazing. Knowing that they would take care of me, and that I'd be okay. I don't consider Charles and Kristen like my mom and dad. As technically they would be, but they're definitely more so like a brother and sister figure to me. And I love them as if they were my brother and sister. Obviously I respect them, and so I follow their rules and I listen to them. But Caleb and Gabriel and Brooklyn, and now Charlotte, consider me to be their bigger sister. And I am very thankful that a 5-year-old can consider me to be her older sister. So I'm the youngest of my actual family, and so I've never, had younger siblings to look to or like to be their like role model or to like teach them things, and I just hope that they grow up loving Jesus and loving their family, and I think that's one of the most important things. When I lost my dad and started living with Kristen and Charles, it was so different. I didn't really feel home at first. It took a few months to get there. If you don't have a strong family, obviously I eventually had one, and Kristen and Charles are amazing for that, but I think if you don't have a strong family or a strong group of friends, rely on God for that, because He'll get you there. He'll figure it out for you. Rely on God. That's the most important thing.